you tell them that we are making minions today? And we're going to get started on cutting out the main body and the facial features today. Join us, won't you? Okay, we are back and we are going to cut our minions out. Now, basically they're worked flat first. We put all the details on as a flat thing, and then we roll it, sew it together, and put the bottom and the top on. So it's gonna look a little funny at first, but I assure you, I've made a lot of these. I know what I'm doing. So basically you want to decide what size cylinder you want your minion to be. It all depends on how much fabric you have, how big. I mean, you could make them like life-sized if you wanted. I mean, if I use this whole thing, you know, that would be a giant minion. But I'm going to make a few. I'll make some with 2 eyes and some with 1 eye, just to show you the difference. So I have this folded here, and you can see then how big your minion will be. And you know, I want like a decent size cylinder. If you want a tall one, I think Kevin is tall. You can correct me on that if you know. You can make them fat, you can make them whatever size you want. So we're gonna make one like this. And basically you're just cutting a rectangle because it's going to be, you see, now he's going to be about that big with a bottom and a top. And then you want to make sure you don't use all of your yellow fabric, because you're also going to need a piece for the head. And there we go. We'll do a little fat guy too. Which one is the little guy? Bob? Bob? He has 2 different colored eyes. I should try that. You could fold this in half the long way. And that's how much blue you're going to make, because it's going to go over the bottom half as your overalls. So let's lay it out on here. Can you see that? And we will cut half out. And everything's going to get layered onto our main piece. Okay, and we'll do one for this one. There we go. So there is what we have so far. Okay, we are back, and this is where I told you measuring cups come in handy. So I think this one is going to be Bob. So we'll need smaller goggles on him because he has 2 eyes. Maybe a bit bigger. Yeah, so we'll use the half a cup. And we'll measure. And what we're going to do is just draw around using a piece of chalk or a white crayon. We'll do one. And then we'll make another one using that. Okay, so scissors. Now we want to make these as nice as possible. We will clean them up a little while sewing, because we do a pretty strong zigzag to keep it in place. You can see the minions at the beginning there, my kids' ones. I had originally stuffed the goggles, but I found that they just kept breaking and coming loose. I think actually my son's is loose right now, and I have to sew it back up. So it works better to lay them flat, and with this particular zigzag stitch that we do, they do look like they are sticking out a little bit as goggles. Anyway, so I've found that they're really terrible if you do it that way. So we've got two. We're going to fold them in half, and we're going to cut them out as goggles, right? You want them to be another circle inside here. A lot of these minions are just free-handed stuff. So if you're not comfortable with that, I apologize. That's the only way I've ever kind of done things. So they're not too terrible. I might have to fix the hole in the center there a little bit, make it a little more of a circle. Okay, now that doesn't look quite like a minion yet. That is why I have white here. Now, with the white, you don't need to make it fleece. It can be anything because it's going to be underneath. And basically, you don't even have to cut a circle as long as it fits underneath the goggles. So I usually just kind of cut a square, fit it underneath here, you know, make sure it fits, and then kind of trim the edges a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to fit underneath, like so. Okay, we are back, and we are going to work on a little bit of black. Oh my goodness, you can tell I've been making minions out of this all the time because there's all sorts of little black pieces everywhere. But what we need, as soon as I find a nice straightaway here, all the way across, we need the goggles part. About an inch and a half you want. And you want it to run the entire length of your minion. So we're going to put it underneath these goggles. And you can see I just freehand everything. You can be more accurate if you want. You see it goes all the way across. I just give it a little extra just in case. And run it across. So you've got the strap. I usually leave it like that. You can cut it if you want so that it doesn't run all the way through. I'll show you how that goes. You know, like this. I'll do it on this one for you. So there you've got your minion goggle strap. Next we're going to do the eyeballs. Now, Stuart is super cheeky and he usually looks a little bit bored. So what I do is I get my yellow and I cut just a half circle like this. And what we do is put it underneath so that it looks like he's a half blinking. There, can you see that? Maybe I'll put it closer. Let's see here. And you can use your scrap of black. And I usually just formulate a little bit of an eyeball underneath there. And we're going to sew it all down like that. But it's just a half because he's kind of looking at you like he's not quite sure. Ta-da! Like that. So I oh yeah, that's definitely Bob right there. Cute, eh? Look at that one. Pretty good, you think? I think we're along the right track. Now the only other next thing we have to do is make a mouth. Now mouths can get complicated. On the purple one I made teeth, because the purple guys are always sticking their tongues out and making teeth and whatever. On Stuart, because I've made Stuart several times before, he's my favorite one to make because he's the most cheeky one. Now, I'm going to issue a warning here, because the more cheeky the face is on your minion, the more trouble they're going to get into. I'm just warning you. Don't let your minions control everything, you know? Like, I've seen my minions, they have commandeered a box and made it into a car. They have stolen the cookies in the house. They have dressed up as princesses and tried to eat donuts. And I do, oh, they have even laid in my bed and kind of with a funny pose. My husband thinks that's pretty funny. And I'll show you a picture of that. Stuart, he's a little bit of a troublemaker around our house. So I'm just warning you, I'm not responsible for the amount of trouble your minions get into because of the facial expressions that you choose to put on them. Anyway, I'll show you. Here is just a smile on Bob. And this one, he's just a little cheeky guy there. Hey? Yeah. So, next, well, yeah, maybe we'll do the pocket and then we'll, well, no. You know, what we're going to do is we're going to sew all of this down, but I think we'll do that in the next video because this one's going to get too long if we don't. So I'm going to encourage you to like and subscribe, and if you click the little bell button, you'll get a notification for when the next one comes out, which would be helpful since we don't have our minions sewn yet. We don't even have arms on here yet, or pockets, or feet, or anything. So, yeah, comment. Are you going to try one? What colors are you going to use? What kind of, who's your child's favorite minion? All that fun stuff. And I will catch you in a few days with the next steps of this project. Bye-bye for now.